Welcome to my YouTube channel Commander Strikes. This is Commander Sudhir Kumar, Indian Navy veteran, brings you that what has happened, at what stage this war between Israel and USA and Iran has reached till now. Is it going to escalate into the world war? That is natural question which is there in the mind of even a common man around the world in all the countries. And then you have to see that what sort of an implication this war is going to have on global economy. The third question is that is there going to be an escalation in the price of crude oil and how it is going to affect different countries? The fourth question, what are the objectives that US has achieved? Next question is that what are the objectives which Israel wants to achieve out of this conflict? Rather, full-blown war. What is the aim that Iran is having in mind? Has he lost mind? Has he lost the hierarchy competence that it is launching attacks against different countries of Middle East? Then coming to that this world is having the 5 superpowers. As far as military strength is concerned, though they are having the economic strength also, so then are they going to intervene in this? At what stage this war is? Can it be stopped by anyone in this world? Does US has its say that whatever it does, it will be doing, and it has got the legitimate right to do so? Do you feel that United Nations has lost the plot? So these are the questions in mind. I'll be solving each one of it, or rather, I'll be giving the analysis in a very short time to you that what has happened last 36 hours. So dear friend, the first question is, has it the potential to escalate into the world war? Is still my feeling is, and my strong observations of going through all the actions so far, no, this will not escalate into the World War III, because what happens that there is a particular aim of Israel. Israel objective is just that Iran was posing an existential threat to Israel. So they wanted to make sure that Israel should not be in a position to assemble a nuclear bomb, and then sometime in future, if that's posing a threat to Israel and his existence on this planet, and sometime is going to use against them, maybe in different formations, maybe in the form of tactical weapons or so. So here, now coming to it, that has already been achieved. Let me say to you that the Israel has carried out the studies because the Mossad presence in Iran was so much that they were knowing that what is going to happen in Iran, where the top leadership is assembling. So they had a very accurate pinpoint information that where the top leadership, that religious leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is going to be present there. His family is there in the shelter, and all the top leadership, military leadership as well as other leadership is going to be there. Because we have seen this pattern. In June, that 12 days war, the Israel could wipe out near about 20 leaders of them in the first strike itself, first few strikes. So here it was a very, very accurate information already available. Whatever may be the sources, anyone can speculate, but Israel had information, and the Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, could impress upon President Trump that this is the most opportune time to attack, because as far as US interest is concerned, the US is having three-pronged objectives. One is that how the regime could be changed, because the radical Islamic spread was taking place as far as Ayatollah Khomeini was concerned when he took over in 1989. And since then, he was undisputed leader who were deciding about the governance of the country, its geopolitics and the foreign policy, its military, its law and order situation. So he was a supreme leader. And I suppose his family members were also helping him out, running the day-to-day business of the country, and his younger son was very actively involved. So all his family members in this thing have been this thing. Then US was having that somehow the regime should take place. But the biggest concern of America, though there was a second concern of America was common with Israel, that Iran should not be able to manufacture or assemble a nuclear weapon, so it is going to be a potential threat in future. Though Iran has signed the NPT treaty and nuclear proliferation treaty, and the IAEA was subject to the IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency's inspection. Still, the US considered that it's a potential threat. Might be that there was a help which was being extended by Russia or Russia and China clandestinely. The third objective was that Russia is already involved with Ukraine, and a lot of resources have already been constrained, and somewhere the Russia has been tamed. Though I don't feel so, because Russia is still a superpower. Russia has power even to confront USA, to speak against it, and when it comes to even retaliate, because still its military strength, the long-range nuclear propelled hypersonic missiles are very deadly, and he has got a huge stockpile of tactical and strategical weapons. Though that US might have felt that Russia is already fighting a war, so it's already constraints, and then he was having, because the China was having sort of an hegemony on critical minerals, so to have a leverage over China, then America thought that, he should control the oil supply in the world, so that the constraints could be created or leverage could be made against China. So these were the objectives. And these objectives could be achieved, but Iran is not going to give up. Iran did a biggest mistake to hit even in Saudi Arabia, but all the places which he has hit where the American bases are there, but where civilian installations is hitting, I think is doing a mistake, because UAE is requesting that should not be done. But the most important is that Iran is not giving up. Iran has already appointed its military hierarchy from the junior command, because they have got not only to the second place up to the sixth place, their hierarchy set up that if the top leadership dies, then who will be the next? Then if the second chain of command dies, then who will be the next? So this way they have got chain in command up to the sixth ladder. So there is no problem. They have already appointed their supreme religious leader, and he is going to lead. And as far as religious mindset is concerned, the radicals in Iran, they are supporting him, and he is capable to carry forward all these formations, those were very loyal to Khamenei. There is not an issue. Secondly, Iran has hit an oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz to show that he is having an advantage over there. It has that it can close this up where 30% oil supply of the entire world will get constraints. And one strike itself has already escalated the crude oil prices, the oil prices by 10%, and now it is the oil is being sold at US dollars 80 per barrel. So that effect is already there. But so far, Iran has said that he does not have that plan to constrain it. The oil supply will be. It wanted to just show that if US is not going to abide, then they will constrain this oil supply to the entire world. The Iranian aim to hit 7 to 8 nations simultaneously in Middle East is definitely with an aim to show them, to the Muslim world and GCC countries, that why they allowed that American bases to come up over there when the US is posing a threat against the Muslim population, though in my opinion it's not the case, because America is only against the radical elements and it wants that coming out from the nuclear capabilities, then Iran should have a person to lead it, a team of competent person under him, so that this radicalization is not there, which was groomed under Ayatollah Khamenei since 1989 onwards. So these are the things. But at present, the way Iran is hitting with its ballistic missiles, and America is hitting with Patriot missiles from its destroyers, those are already there in the Strait of Hormuz, though he has taken out the aircraft carrier out of it. But now one news which is, and circling into the social media, which has become very viral, that Iran says that it has launched 4 missiles, those have hit their nuclear-powered aircraft carrier Abraham Lincon. If it is so, then what could be the damage? That is very, very important. But in my opinion, even if the damage could be minimized by the prompt action of America, but even if 4 missiles, and not only 4 if I take it, even if one ballistic missile has hit the USA's nuclear propelled aircraft carrier, that is Abraham Lincon, then definitely it will lower the morale of US armed forces. It will be very difficult for President Trump to explain to its citizens that why such a powerful machine at sea, the flotilla which is being defended by the best of defense, how it can be hit. It is not going to be top level. So it is going to be a very big question in front of Trump. If Iran has done so, then definitely in the Strait of Hormuz that Iran has got more potential to strike against 3 destroyers, those are there. And if Iran is able to hit any one of them and able to sink, or even if able to cause disastrous damage on board, then that will also go against. Secondly, the regime change in Iran will not take place if the foot on soldiers are not there. Can America take this? Because what has happened, The Iran is doing his tactics of attacks very carefully. The way they are hitting this Middle East countries, 7 to 8 nations, they are showing that it stands with the ideologies that all Muslim nations should come together and fight against America. Why they allowed the bases of America to come in their territory, and just see now, I am not going to go down. I'll be fighting it. Though my top leadership has been eliminated, but still I can fight the most mightiest country, the mightiest military power, USA, along with now even coupled with Israel. So there what happens, the kind of a movement which is taking place in Iran, that their population is coming on road and they are coming in support of Ayatollah Khamenei, in spite of it that Ayatollah Khamenei just few days back, when agitation against his regime was taking place, he might have killed near about 20 to 30,000 innocent Iranian. But still, he has got the massive support which is coming on road, and they are telling that with no cost we are going to surrender. Please fight against USA and Israel to the logical conclusion. But finally, my estimate is that still, I'll not say it will escalate into World War III, but definitely the impact on oil has already come, as the oil prices have gone up by 10%. There are so many nations, their economy depends largely on import of oil. India is also one of them, and all these countries are going to be hit. And tomorrow, if Iran definitely says that he will not allow any ship movement, though he has not said so far, he said he'll keep this line open where 30% of global oil supply is taking place through this route. I'm sure that day will be very catastrophic, and it will be having very serious impact on global economy as well as, and when the oil prices goes up, then definitely the prices of the commodities, the day-to-day consumption items will certainly go up, and then inflation will take place. So many nations, those are already fighting a very low growth, going to go towards a recession, and that will be it. So it is to be seen that how many days this war is going to end. But now, the kind of a statement which has come up from Russia, the statement which has come from China, India has also given unequal statement that this is not the era of war and there should be the constraints from both the sides. But people say that India is not taking any strain. And if I take the 5 superpowers of this world, that definitely USA, China, EU, India, and Russia. Is any one of them, or the consortium of two, is EU along with Russia, or EU along with India, or Russia along with India, or Russia along with China is going to oppose this and stand with univocal sort of an suggestions to USA that please stop. It is a high time that US is fighting for its hegemony. You have already seen what sort of an takeover of Venezuela was done, what sort of a threat was given to the Greenland and Denmark, and what statement was given for Canada. All these things keeping in mind, at present I don't foresee that any involvement by any of these superpower is going to be there supporting actively or taking part in war in favor of Iran. So that till you are not taking any part of it, then you have to take a moral stand. Because the UN organization is a defunct organization. It does not have any say, and its reputation, its image has gone down in the minds of all the peoples on this planet and in the mind of all nations. If India was having an active role now in Security Council, Brazil could have had a representation in UN Security Council. Today, it would have made a very big difference on this war, containing this war, and then even forcing that both the sides come to the logical conclusion, having deliberations on the table, so that the humanity loss, a loss to the global economy, a loss to the nations, how the people are going to suffer when crude oil prices are going to escalate and they are going to be spiraling. To stop this, I feel still that Iran will surrender. Iran does not have that kind of an military power to stand in front of USA and Israel until unless some superpower is coming in support. Even if some small nations come in support of Iran, it will not be able to withstand. But $1 million question comes in. That regime change will not take place by the Air Force or just by launching missiles, destroying Iran's capabilities. It has to come by the foot soldiers. The will that America or Israel will take a chance to send their foot soldiers where they have to fight not only against the Iranian army, which is not so much competent, but might be the resistance, the kind of a mass movement which is taking place in favor of Ayatollah Khamenei, and that is also supporting the new supreme leader which has been appointed. So, my dear friends, till next, this is the only review I am giving to you about this war. And last 36 hours, yesterday, I uploaded my video. And if you feel that I have given you an in-depth analysis after analyzing it, after carrying out the research and going into the depth, then you please like this video, circulate to your friends, and then subscribe my channel, Commander Strikes. Till next, all the best. Take care.